Great. Okay, so let's get started here. So yeah, the Q2 program is usually found on your desktop. Let's double click on that. You'll be given a username. Usually it's first name and last, up to 8 characters. So let's log in with mine. And your passcode, which is also given to you. Takes a while to boot up, especially if any updates are still needing to be had. This morning there was a server update and took some time to open up. So this is your. Let's share the screen. Let's use that one. Share. Great. Try to make this as large as we can. This one? No. There we go. Great. Excellent. Okay, so what we have basically menu at the top. There's a lot of items that are grayed out right now, but there are features that will be active when your software loaded on your laptop. New quote basically is that we're starting a new quote. RGA is return goods icon. That's again, we'll need further explanation at a later date. Credit the same. Quick find is a button that you'll use quite often. It's your main way of calling up quotes that you previously had worked on. There's a find a quote here as well. That's a little bit more, it's more of a search feature that you can actually punch in an address, a person's last name, a person's first name, builder, whatever information that you have. It's a little bit more robust. I'm just gonna call it up right now. You can see there's a lot of different parameters here to filter your search. That's not the main way I call up things. That is a kind of like a deep search feature. Quick find is simply that it just put in your quote number, and you can call up your previously worked on quote. Right now, let's just start with a new quote just by clicking on the button. The first thing it'll do is prompt you for an account to use. When you first start off in sales, you're assigned different accounts. They will be populated in this field here. If I just click search, I'll get all the ones that are pertaining to my listing. I basically have more than what other people will view. That's only because I have a difference, just a different profile than others. Just for testing, we're just going to go right down to the bottom and just grab one of the test accounts. Let's do this 4Z9990 count. We'll accept that. And that will allow us to start quoting. So when you're looking for your own client accounts, you'll probably have a half dozen tops for different reasons. You might have some that are associated with your sales reps, some that pertain to yourself in particular, some that pertain just to service. Once those accounts are assigned to you, somebody in accounting will spell out which ones are used for what. So you'll know how to allocate appropriately. Right now, since we're in this test account, we can start right away just building a quote. What we're going to do is we're just going to use the new button in the sub menu here. Again, we have different features: insert, edit, delete, copy. We'll go through those as we move along. Right now, let's start with a simple window. we'll get this. I also have a paper document for this. We start off with a simple window and door product. Everything is prompt oriented. So as soon as you make a selection, it's going to ask you a question, right? As long as you answer all the questions, we'll be able to build a product. So if there's a something missing, it will prompt you to fill in that space. So right now we're just going to simply start with an Advantage Plus product. Let's pick a casement. There's different configurations to choose from. If we're desiring a bay or bow window, we would pick these. But we're just wanting to start off with a simple casement window. We're just going to go with a one light right now, just one window, nothing adjacent to it. Sorry, as I take a drink of my tea here. Let's start with a small, simple window. You can see that in the margin area, we're using imperial measurements in this sizing matrix. However, the selection items are metric based, just for ease of naming and just for ease of space. So this is a 400, an 04 is a 400 millimeter width. An 08 is an 800 millimeter height. And it's also the same in our brochures. So when you reference our sizing brochure, it'll have the same sizing matrix. So what you see there is basically what you're seeing on screen here. The next question, it will ask you, what is the orientation of this window? How will it operate? Does it operate? We have a choice of fixed and sash, which I'm not sure Gary explained that to you yesterday, and fixed and frame. Let me just pause this so we can walk into the showroom just to, oops, how do I pause the recording? So we're back. So yeah, what operation would we like here? Let's just start with a left hinged product. So when we're talking about how it operates, we're always talking about how the product is viewed from the exterior. How does it hinge from the exterior? The triangle, now that we've assigned that it's left hinged, the triangle that shows up in the drawing points to the area that is hinged. You probably already know that based on reading plans in the past. The next item that it prompts you, these are all the red stops on the left. So your selection area for all the particulars for this product is shown on this menu on the left. We have a lot of green check marks, which is fantastic because all those things that have been looked after, they have, we can alter some of them because there are other options for them. Some are basically defaults and there's no other choices to be made. Right now we're being prompted to ask, like, what is the color that we want? We're just simply going to go with a white window this time around. And the next step is we have to choose our glazing. We have a variety of different glazings, both dual and triple glazings. You can refer to our glazing chart that really describes what the benefits and features of each are, and also the cost differences. I got a separate document for that I can share. Let's just start with our standard. This is our entry-level glazing, the NC 180. Next step is choosing the hardware. There's the standard just upright arm, and there's the fold-away handle as well. However, if we choose a dual arm hardware, which is an upgrade, right now it's not selected. If we were to select that, we would automatically get the nested hardware, and it will be shown up here. The nested hardware is basically just that. The whole handle resides right in the keeper. It has a low profile, and it is a higher end handle. There is an upgrade charge for that. So there is, if your customer is concerned with saving a few dollars, he can just go with a single arm and just go with a fold away, which also gets out of the way. But if he's really wanting to save some money, the standard uprights will also work. Let's just pick the standard for now. The next selection item is for exterior trim. There's a variety of different options. We have two different brick molds. We have the 1 1/8 and the 3.5-inch heritage casing. Both are great for new construction. We try to, a lot of contractors refrain from using this in the renovation side of things because they will use their own aluminum capping to finish off the product. It's a lot easier for them to work with. However, I have seen some contractors use the brick mold as well. So it's really a personal preference. The nailing fin, also a nice handy feature. That's also an optional item. Positioning clips for those large picture windows. That's you want to make sure that you have them set right before you start screwing them in from the inside. And there's also a weather side extension for those who want to set back their windows into their building envelope, just for better energy performance. Again, all different features. Right now, we're just going to go with a non-brick mold, no options for the exterior trim. One of the last things that it prompts you is to determine what the jam width for the window is. I'm not sure if Gary went through any. Typically, the 4 5/8 is what is used for 2x4, and 6 5/8 is for 2x6 construction. Then we have various other ones, depending on what's happening in the on the site, whether it's a renovation or new construction. They could be adding other elements to the walls, either external styrofoam insulation on the interior side. Who knows what might be happening there. So we can also do a custom jam as a special request. We also have drywall return for those who don't even want like a wood jam, right? They'll just do straight drywall right out of the window and then make their corner to continue on with their wall. We have two options, either a drywall return, but right now we're heavily promoting the 3/4 inch jam receiver, which allows us to either use drywall or a wood extension. So if the contractor is unsure how he's going to finish off on the inside, he's going to do his own jams, this is a great option for them. Right now, we're just going to pick the 4 5/8, and we're pretty much created our first window right now. We can assign the quantity here, or we can add a name here. Let's call this bedroom 1. We have a few options in the bottom right-hand corner. We can either continue, we can finish this and copy this exact same window. Let's say we have 3 of the same window in the house, but they were in different bedrooms. We would just finish and copy and call it bedroom 2, bedroom 3, and carry on that way. Finish and new, we would finish this one here, would go to our quote summary, and we would start fresh with a different window. Finish and exit, we're done. We're just wanting to see the window in our quote summary. Let's have a quick look at that by hitting finish and exit. And this is our quote summary right now. Has the pricing on the far left, and it has basically our selection area for our options. When we were previously building this window, has now become our selection tree. This area is used for quotes that you're working on. You could be working on 3 or 4 quotes during the day. You can pick your jobs through the selection tree. However, those files may not have been saved to the server. So unless you know for sure you're the only one working on those quotes, you may be pulling from old information. If you have a new construction customer and he might have a CSR working on it. He might be working on it. He might have multiple people looking at it, maybe somebody in service. You might not be looking at the most up-to-date information. So it's best to call up the quote using quick find rather than from the selection tree. However, if you're a rental rep and you're just, you know that you're the only person viewing it, then you could pull it from there. Let's build another product. I'll show you a handy feature that is now available with the Q2 graphic configurator. We're going to do the same sort of thing. We're going to keep in the same family. We'll go with the Advantage Plus. We'll do another tutor. We'll do a casement as before. This time, let's do a 3 wide window. This is a great feature. It's going to copy all the previous selections that we made. All that, the handle, the jam size, the hardware, the glazing, all that is already predetermined. Do I want that? That's great. Also, it's a total shortcut. Let's click on that. So it'll go right to the sizing. And basically, that's all you really need to look after. Now, our sizing matrix has changed because now we're working with a 3 wide, right? Again, metric or imperial at the top, and then our selection items are in metric. Let's do the 400 millimeter by 800 millimeter high, but they're 3 wide. When we're referring to 04, we're referring to each individual unit. So really, that's a 1200 millimeter wide. Let's pick that. Done. Because we made all those pre-selections with the first window, we quickly made that second window. However, I'm looking at it now, I'm going, do I want my windows to operate that way all the time? Probably not. A 3 wide configuration will probably have the center one as a fixed and the one on the far right to be right hinged. Yeah. So let's just make those changes. We just need to select that, select the item, and go to our selection menu here on the left and just find where we have the operation of the unit type is left here. We want to change that to fixed in sash. Again, remember we when we walked over to the display center and we compared what a fixed in sash and fixed in frame, you can see by change to the fixed in frame how it adds more glass. And the profile of that exact frame is minimized because that is a fixed in frame, not in a sash. Sash adds more profile and makes it the same as the operating windows. Let's go over to this window here that we want a right operator. Again, as viewed from the exterior. And now we're done by hitting OK. This is complete. We'll call this bedroom 2. And let's make this a quantity of 2. Easy enough to do here. And we can finish and exit. And there's that window. Now, next up, let's say we're done. What do we do? Well, we have to save it and we have to print it. Save the quote. Saving the quote will generate a quote number, and you'll see that in the black bar at the top. That's your quote number right there. You'll probably want to jot that down for future reference. And if you can do that for me, just so we know what's great. And now we want to print it. There's a variety of different options to use here. RSO copy is basically just showing the sizing of the products for contractors to go out and do their final checks for their measure. Rental copy will what all the rental reps actually use. It has the pricing, the list pricing with any discounts that are applied. Office copy shows all the information needed for pricing for internal purposes. Takes a while for it to generate. For some reason, it's slow today. And here is our completed quote with no discount, just as a list price item. Let's close this. And what I'll do now is I'll stop the recording and I'll leave you to do a test quote.